The final decisive battle is usually decisive, but it is never truly final. After breaking your enemy on the field of battle, you may face weeks, months, or even years of continued fighting. A good field commander can orchestrate a war to bring about a final decisive battle. A great commander will know it's not over.
Hi, I'm Paul Allen.
And I'm ED-SKaR. And today we have another Warhammer 40k 9th edition game for you. A little bit of a battle report, and the biggest one in our campaign so far.
Yes. So today's battle is going to be an all-out assault on a fortified location.
Yes.
So the Death Guard have managed to salvage as much as they can from their crashed vessel, which has allowed them to cobble together some vehicles and larger foes. During this time, the Tanith have fallen back to a secure location.
We're digging in and we're Gandalfing because you shall not pass.
Yes.
The Tanith will be on the defensive, and as with a lot of the campaign so far, I will be experimenting with some of the fan codex rules for the prototype Tanith First and Only codex. None of these rules are definitely going into the fan codex. Kind of the point of me using them in this campaign is to try them out and see how they work.
And of course we also going to be using some of the drop troops.
And yes, in this game we've got a squad of the drop troops from the drop troops fan codex. So my army is almost entirely bespoke fan creation. Yes. Which should make for a very fun game. It might not be a very balanced game, is the fear there.
Well, it's the whole point of trying it and seeing.
Yeah. One of the big ones, as I'll explain when I look at the forces for my side, we have the Gaunt's Ghost Squad. The official rules for this put them in one squad, and every time they get used, no matter who's using them, they end up getting wiped out. And this is the first, second, and third in command of the Tanith First and Only. You wouldn't think they put their top 3 officers in one squad to get wiped out like that. Yeah. But those are the rules, and so that's how most people play it. For the fan codex, we're splitting those up. And we're also, as a regimental trait, using... we've called it Cloak and Dagger for the moment. That might change. But it gives the entire army some of the rules from the cloaks and the rule for the straight silver as well.
And for the Death Guard, we're going to be using the Plague Company again as the Poxmongers, as this will allow me to throw grenades when in close combat.
Yeah, that's a bit dangerous. It hasn't come up yet. A couple of our games have been more shooting matches than getting stuck into close combat. But given that this is a slightly larger size of game, still a relatively small game at 750 points, but it's larger than our 500 and quite a bit larger than the 250 point game.
Yes.
But yeah, let's have a talk about the armies themselves. And here is my 750 points of Tanith First and Only. Well, rather an extended Astra Militarum force. So, as with the fan codex rules, the official Gaunt's Ghost Squad is split up. And so my first headquarters is Corbec, Rawn and Gaunt, and they are all now independent characters, separate from the squad. I also have a Lord Commissar, representing Hark, and Friendly Dog, who's not actually being used as a combatant. He's just there as a mascot. The model will be on the table. It doesn't actually do anything rules-wise. That's the fun thing. Troops choices. I have 3 infantry squads, and I'll explain the conscript squad at the back. The first one has the special rules for Cena and Arilla, the heavy weapons team. They have a heavy stubber, not an autocannon, because I can't use a heavy stubber in a normal list, so I built the model with an autocannon. Second squad has Bragg, again, splitting up that Gaunt's Ghost squad. So Bragg just joins an infantry squad as the heavy weapon option. The third infantry squad here has all of my funny models in it. But instead of having a heavy weapon and a special weapon, they have 2 special weapons, and they're both sniper options. So this and the old Larkin model are the snipers. Finally, last infantry choice at the back is a conscript squad, and you'll notice that these are mostly bolt action models. They're from the Russian faction there. A pretty good fit for conscripts, I think. More interesting stuff. Another one of the Gaunt's Ghost squad that's been separated out. This is Master Sniper Larkin, the new model. So essentially this is a special weapon squad with 2 snipers, and then Larkin takes up the 3rd special weapon slot. And because Larkin's joined this squad, the squad gets all of Larkin's rules, and they get ballistic skill of 3+. The last of the 6 from the Gaunt's Ghost squad is McColl, and he joins effectively a veteran squad, but this becomes the Gaunt's Ghost Scout squad, and this gets all of McColl's special rules, but it also gets the covert deployment special rule, so these guys can forward deploy. And I've given them heavy flamer, and a plasma gun, and a medic in the back there. And finally, heavy weapons team, 2 missile launchers, and a heavy bolt gun. As an allied unit, and because we want to show off the Drop Troops Fan Codex rules, this is a squad of Drop Troops, the Rusty Razors. And we did the painting of these models over on an episode of Back to the Brush. But this is a squad of 10, they are veterans, and there are 2 grenade launchers, and just like the other dog, the dog model is here. The dog model has no effect on rules, it's just there as a mascot.
Moral support.
Moral support. And so there, in wonderfully, definitely accurate to the rules and not shoehorning stuff in for the sake of narrative play, is my army.
Okay, so this is the Death Guard 750 point army. We have a patrol detachment here. So HQ, we're using my Psyker again. We did quite well in the previous games. I have a unit of Chaos Space Marines. Special weapons, we have a light launcher and we have a plasma. As always, we have our traitor guardsmen because they're endless supply and I can just keep throwing them at the enemy. We have our Rhino. We have our Moldy Toenail, of course. So that's a Blight Hauler. So ground unit, lots of cool weapons on him. And then we have the Blight Drone, which
Flying Moldy Toenail.
Yes, but in terms of rules for the game, this isn't a flyer. It's just kind of hovering. So that is the entire army for this, the entire detachment for this game. Okay, so here is the table. The Chaos forces will be advancing from their manufactorium area up onto this defensive line of the guardsmen.
Right, I've deployed. Your turn.
Good. These bits of terrain with special rules we're not using in this game.
Yeah, we're just using them as terrain.
Yes.
As this is a defensive game, the defender deploys first, and I've put most of my infantry along the front line in this defensive trench. I have Corbeck in here, I have Gaunt just behind, as well as Hark, and on the other side I've got Rawn and Ludd down there. In the middle, my conscripts. Even though the conscripts have machine guns and snipers and all the rest of it, as far as the rules are concerned, they're only equipped with las guns because they're not actually that proficient with those weapons. But the ones that are proficient with heavy weapons are up there on the raised platform. And these guys get a relatively good field of view, although it's not perfect with that building in the middle kind of blocking a chunk of it. In reserve, I have the scout squad, the sniper squad, and of course the drop troops ready to go.
So for my deployment, I've scattered the guardsmen across this building. So the idea is that they're at the moment they're reporting reconnaissance, stuff like that. I have the hauler over here. We have the floating drone here. The Rhino is back here, and the Rhino has our HQ and all 9 of our Plague Marines in it.
And they're on the board representing that they're in the Rhino, next to the Elysians representing that they're in a Valkyrie ready to drop. But these 2 units, the Scout Squad and the Sniper Squad, they have to deploy now. So unfortunately, given the nature of the board, I've been a little bit boring, and my sniper team have just joined the heavy weapons team on this platform. They at least get 1 cover save plus their cloaks up here. But a little more interestingly, the scout squad with McColl have come up to the side and maybe put themselves in harm's way, see if they can achieve anything. But with that deployed, we can finally roll for first turn.
Turn 1, the attackers are going to go first because we're attacking. So the Rhino has started coming this direction. This has the Plague Marines and the Psyker. We have moved these two Mouldy Toenails up on this unit.
Yeah, the scout squad's looking a little bit more vulnerable than they were before, and I think given the angles here, they actually don't get a cover save either, which is very dangerous.
The Guardsmen have come down and into the open. I've not really decided what I'm going to do with the Guardsmen yet.
Well, you'll have to decide fairly quick because they're going to start coming under fire.
They are looking pretty cool. So, because my Psyker is in the Rhino and the Rhino is moved, he can't do anything this turn. Nor can the Plague Marines, obviously. So I don't think he's in range. Oh, he is. No, he's in range. Okay. So the Blight Drone is only in range of the first two.
But that means they're in range.
Okay.
You don't have to be in range of the models that you're killing. You just have to be in range of the unit as a whole.
We've got the drone. We're going to be using a Plague Spitter, and we're aiming over here. It's an automatic hit, and it's an Assault D6. So let's see how many attacks it makes. 2. Disappointing.
So you get 2 hits.
So it's a 2+ to wound because we have a Strength 6.
And AP -1, so I just get a 6+ on a save. Make neither of them 2 of the scout squad die.
Blight Hauler. So on Mouldy Toenail, we're going to be first using the Multi-Melter. So
Against light infantry.
Against light infantry. So it's a heavy 2. We have got 8 strength -4 AP, so there's no armor save here, and a ballistic skill of 3+, and then 2+ to wound. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Oof.
So both. Oh no, 1 miss.
1 miss, 1
1
hit.
hit. Still
Nice.
wounds. That's another one. Dead.
Melted. Now we're going to move on to the missiles. I've elected to use the frag missiles. So we have a heavy D6, strength of 4, wounded on a 3+. Oof. Still terrible.
1 shot. Roll to hit.
No,
That's unlucky.
it is rather. Okay, so finally we have the bile spurt, which is amusing. It's like its tongue, I believe, when I painted the model. So this is a D3 assault.
Okay.
6. Look at that. 3.
So that's 3 shots. Have some more dice.
3 pluses again to wound.
Nope, 3 pluses to hit.
To hit, sorry. Yeah, so that's 2. Oof. Nice.
So 2 wounds, and I get 2 armor saves. So 6+. I fail them both. 2 more die, which means if I keep the sergeant, that means I have to take the medic. Actually, no. If I take the flamer, then I can possibly bring back the flamer in my turn.
Yes.
With the medic. So you actually should be within. Yeah, you are.
Just the rifleman.
Just the rifleman. So you get how many rifles?
So there's 6 rifles. Okay, so from our guardsmen, the ones with the autoguns, the ones with the rifles, there's 6 of those. They have a 24-inch range. So we're going to be shooting over here. So we've got a 4+. So that's 3 hits. So to wound, it's going to be a 4+. Again. Bosh. Just 1.
Only the 1. And because I'm in cover with this squad, I get the benefit of Cloak and Dagger. So I get a 3+ total save. I still managed to fail it. So this guy.
And so ends my turn.
Oh, is that your turn over?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, unsurprisingly, given that I'm in a defensive position, there's not a lot of movement. I have moved Doc Dorden, who's the medic in one of the infantry squads, so that he can try and heal the wound that this unit lost. And my scout squad has moved up just a little bit so that they can have a shout at the Chaos Cultists. Otherwise, it's pretty much everything is stationary. So Dordan's rolling a medic roll on this unit. He gets 1d6 and he gets to re-roll as well because he's chief surgeon after all. But that is successful, and so I get that model back. It's almost like I'm pretending to be Necrons. This squad as well has a medic, the scout squad. They've got Anna Kurth, and she rolls. She also gets a reroll, but fails overall, so that flamer doesn't come back. What a shame.
Okay.
Moving on to the shooting phase. So, heavy flamer in the scout squad against the Chaos Cultists. I get d6 shots, 4 shots, which automatically hit. And then because it is a strength 5 weapon and toughness 3, they are at 3s to wound. That was bad. But you do get an armor save.
No.
Fail. One of them goes up in flames. This squad also has my beautifully painted plasma gun. Look at that beautiful glowing plasma. Well, the plasma gun is going to shoot at the Blight Hauler, or at least he's going to try.
Okay. At which point I am going to use the stratagem Vouch in Fumes.
Marvellous. What does that do?
When an enemy makes an attack with a ranged weapon, the unit reduce the number of attacks made by that weapon by 1.
Is there a minimum of 1, or
Yes.
is it just?
Yeah, minimum of 1.
Well, it's only got 1 shot.
Yeah, but it's going to reduce all of them.
But it's only got 1 shot.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You're reducing 1 shot to 1 shot, so.
That's a waste of time. Okay.
Unfortunately, that stratagem is not really relevant. It reduces the 1 shot from the plasma gun to 1 shot. Otherwise, I'm going to shoot a standard shot with a ballistic skill of 3+ for the scouts, which does hit. What's the toughness value of the Blight Hauler?
It says here the toughness is 27.
It doesn't.
7.
But the wounds might be 27. Okay.
7.
Right. Funny. So strength 7 of plasma gun versus strength 7 is a 4+ to wound. It does not wound. So to save on a little bit of time and the endless dice rolling, I have rolled the entire infantry line's shooting attacks. So a lot of las guns. Most of it piled into the cultist squad. How many did I actually kill?
5, 6, 7.
I've killed 7 of them, so there's a leadership test coming for them. And I also, with some heavy weapons, did
1 wound.
1 wound. Wow, 1 wound against that. So I move on to my charge phase. The veteran squad will charge the poxwalkers. No, don't charge the poxwalkers. Never charge the poxwalkers.
There's no poxwalkers anyway.
Plus, this isn't a veteran squad, it is a scout squad. The scout squad will attempt to charge the cultists. 9. That looks pretty much like it's going to be the whole lot in. In fact, it is, yes. Okay. Plasma reactor exploded after all.
It did. It's put a big hole in the pipe system, so there's plasma leaking everywhere now. That blight hall has had it.
Definitely how plasma works.
It's spewing everywhere.
So this close combat begins with McCall, who gets 4 attacks at 2+ weapon skill, which is really nice. Still manages to miss 1. His strength is only 3, so that's a 4 to wound. Wow, amazing. That is 1 wound with the straight silver. I will roll the rest of the squad, however. 4 rolls. They have 3+ weapon skill. And also strength 3, so 4s to wound.
Oh dear.
So much for the scout squad being amazing. 1 armor save of 6+.
No.
Not made though, so that does knock them out.
Yeah, I'll take a flamer boy.
So I assume you've got a champion in there?
No.
No? So it's just 4 attacks back.
We're going to have 4+ for the weapon skill. 2. 4+ to wound. Oh, nice.
Both wounds. I get 2 armor saves of
5.
5+, which I make neither of. So I lose I'm going to take the medic. Sorry, medic. And one of the last guns.
Okay, so the morale test for this unit, since we've lost 8 in this turn, means we automatically fail. So one of our guys is going to run away. So this guy here, he has left the battle. We have 3 guys left, and we're going to do a morale test. 3d6s. I can't remember what we've got to get for this.
Ones.
One.
Well, you don't want ones.
Okay.
Although, because they're half strength, does that mean 2s as well? I will double check.
We've just confirmed from the rules that because there's less than half 2 counts, so we've lost another to cowardice.
So only 2 left, but they all consolidate and they end up... Oops.
Knocking over a forklift truck.
But they all consolidate, so they kind of all blob up. Which I think makes it your turn.
It does. Let's move some of these out of the way. Okay, so the rhino has moved over here.
Yeah, very dangerously, threateningly close. I need to deal with that soon.
The light drone has moved a wee bit forward and across, so the intention is he's going to fire on the line.
Yeah, shooting that way.
Charge backwards.
Joining in on combat to finish off the scouts.
And Mouldy Toenail over there, he's continuing to flank.
Well in cover here, yes.
Okay. Shooting a ding a ding. Okay, so the rhino's going to fire its combi bolter into these guys. The rapid 2, but because we're in 12 inches, we're going to get 4. We have a ballistic skill of 3 plus. So that's 2. 3 plus 2. 2 fails. Terrible.
Yes, excellent.
Okay. So next on the rhino is the Havoc launcher. So it's a heavy d6, so we're going to roll to see how many. 6.
Nice.
Nice.
Have some more dice.
So I've got ballistic skill of 3 plus, so 3 to hit. Only 3. So we've got strength 4, so 3 to wound. 2 wounds.
There's no modifier to the armor save, and because of cloak and dagger, I get 1 for cover and 1 for the cloaks. So I end up with a 3 plus armor save, well, a 3 plus total save, which I make both of.
Okay, so plague splitter shooting over here.
Yep.
So we have it's an assault d6, and it's automatically hit. So 4, nice. Strength 6, 2's to wound, which is nice. Yep.
All of them.
All of them.
And it's a -1 AP, but I am in cover, and that totals out to a 4 plus overall save. So let's see.
Wow.
All of them, excellent.
He is now going to abate to turn and charge back equally into this battle. So we've got 3 inches here, so 4 inches there?
Yeah.
4 inches there, yeah. So as long as I don't roll snake eyes, we're okay.
Come on, Snake Eyes.
No, let me pick that back up. 5. Okay. So there we go.
Yep, so you're charging into combat. Let's see just how many attacks that thing does.
4. And it's 3 pluses. Okay, so that's 3. So strength 6, so 2's to wound.
That's all of them.
All of them.
And it's an AP -2, which means I don't get an armor save. And that means all of the scouts except for McCall himself are down. And McCall at least gets to fight next. McCall gets 4 attacks at 2's to hit, which is all of them. I will declare, you know what, I think I'm going to put them all into the Traitor Guard. As much as I want to put something onto the Plague Flyer, I think finishing off the cultists is at least something worth the scouts' time. So strength of 3, toughness 3, 4's to wound.
2 wounds.
And that's 2 wounds. You get -1 to your armor save, so 6 is to save. No! Okay, one of them dies. So, the Tanith movement phase is very interesting because in a defensive position I have left the defensive position and I've moved forward quite a bit. I've got one infantry squad as well as Corbeck. I've moved up here for the Blight Walker. Blight drone? Blight...
Moldy Turner.
I've got an infantry squad up here with Lud just behind them. And they've broken cover because they're going to try and charge. And because there was some line of sight blocking here, I've moved the heavy weapons team. I'm also issuing some orders because part of the rules for splitting up the Gaunt's Ghost squad for the fan codex means that Rawn, Gaunt and Corbeck can issue orders. They get the voice of command special ability. So Rawn here will issue take aim to the heavy weapons team, which means they can reroll ones to hit. And Corbeck down here will issue forward for the Emperor on this infantry squad, which means even though they advanced, they still get to shoot, which is going to be very useful. So this infantry squad will be shooting at the Mouldy Toenail. Thankfully they got the order from Corbeck to be able to do that. I have 7 las guns. 6, 7, but they are close enough that they get rapid fire to shoot twice, and I don't have enough dice, so I'll just roll it separately. So we get 4s to hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 hits, 8 hits. That's okay. I've got 1 more dice to make this 8 dice. The toughness of the Blight Crawler is 7, strength of 3, which means I'm rolling 6s to wound. But I do get 1. Cena and Arilla with the heavy stubber, they get to shoot 3 shots. They are 3+ to hit.
Nice.
They are not less than half. They're strength 4, so actually these are 5s to wound. Doesn't matter because neither of them got it. And lastly, I have a Flamer, which hits 6 times. Is also strength 4, so is also wounding on 5s.
Just a 1.
So there are 2 armor saves for the Black Crawler. So what's the armor save?
3+.
Okay.
So 3+ is. Oh, just
Saved 1, but 1 wound. So let's move on to this squad versus the Rhino. So I've got 7 last guns, so 14 shots plus 1 for the last pistol. So 15. 6, 8, 10. So I've got 10 and then I can roll another 5. And this is all hit rolls of 4+. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And then I'll roll the other 5. 9, 10, 11. So I've got 11 hits. What's the toughness of a Rhino?
Yeah, 7.
So strength of 3 versus toughness 7 is 6s to wound. 1. Yeah, just the 1. I also get 2 snipers, which both miss. And that's it. So would you like to roll 1 3+ armor save? Yes, you would. Okay. That's a whole lot of noise for not a lot of action. But I think what we really need now is the heavy weapons team to open up. So we have 2 missile launchers with crack missiles against the Rhino. And these guys move so they're a -1 hit, so it's ballistic seal 5, but I do get to reroll 1s. I get 1 hit. Strength of 8 versus toughness 7, so it's 3s to wound. It does wound.
5+ armor save.
So AP -2, so you get 5+ armor save.
Well, 3. That's a wound.
That is actually D6 wounds, which I get to roll.
Ooh. Oh, thank God.
Well, wow.
Thank the Emperor.
Come on, my dudes. Come on. However, there is also a heavy bolt gun in there, so let's roll it. Yeah. 3 shots from the heavy bolt gun, 5s to hit, rerolling 1s. 1 hit. Strength of 5, toughness 7 would be a 5+ to wound, so it does not wound. That was extremely disappointing, and I need to move on to my charge phase now. This infantry squad are going to charge the tank, and they're going to roll plenty, so they're in.
Lovely.
Also over here, I will declare that this infantry squad will charge the Mouldy Toenail. And they rolled 9, they're well in, so give me a second to move some models.
I want to declare a fire overwatch.
Now I can only do it once, and there's two lots of risks here.
There's two options.
If I go with this, then essentially I've just got that bolter and this missile launcher I can't use in close range, so it's just the bolter.
Why can't you use the missile launcher in close range?
I thought that was a blast weapon, so it's...
Yeah, but you shoot as if you shoot from my starting point, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you would be able to shoot.
Two there, so less likely to do any casualties.
I think the frag missile will do it for you.
Yeah. Moldy toenail, a lot of chances to do a lot of kills there.
Yeah, I do think the mouldy toenail's more dangerous to the infantry. That's probably the better option. Half of your army is inside that rhino, yeah.
I'm going to risk it for a biscuit and go with the toenail.
Okay, toenail it is.
First off, we're going to go with the multi-melter, which is heavy 2. Obviously, because we're in Overwatch, it's going to be 6s to hit.
Nope.
No.
Unfortunate. Has another weapon?
Frag missile. So that's a heavy D6, so let's just roll D6. 5. Nice.
So 5 chances to get some 6s to hit. Oh,
1.
there's one there.
Lovely jubbly.
So what was the strength of that? Pretty high, I expect.
4.
Okay, so 3 plus to wound.
Oh, lucky.
That wounds. Armour AP value.
That's 0.
Okay. Failed armour save, so that one dies.
Okay, so we got the bile spurt.
Lovely.
Does sound good, doesn't it?
D3 shots.
It's a dope. I thought D3. 3. Nice.
So that's 2 attacks. Rolling 6s to hit.
1. Nice. It's strength 6.
So 2s to wound.
Oh.
AP.
-1.
-1, which means I get a armour save of 6. Oh, nope. One dead. So I also have a stratagem to use, because I have tube charges, one of the fan codex trial rules that we're experimenting with. It effectively is the same as the multi-melter, the melter bombs. We've kind of just stolen that because it sort of fits. And I'm going to use that against the Blight Crawler. Means that one of my models replaces their normal attacks with the tube charges attack. I still have to roll to hit, but if I hit, it does 2d3 mortal wounds. So let's start off with the to hit roll. It misses. But that still means I get everyone else in the squad. So how many left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
There's 6.
7 -1 because one model used the tube charge, so I get 6. And I get to roll 4s to hit. That was poor. In fact, that was very poor, and that certainly doesn't wound.
Okay, so I am now going to use the stratagem demonic gluttony. So in this combat phase, any kills I make, I regain a wound up to 3.
Yeah, great, excellent. That's lovely.
Gnashing Maw. I love all the descriptions of the DEFGaRD models. They just sound so...
They're so unpleasant.
Okay, so we've got 4 attacks, and it is 3+ weapon skill. So 3+ is what we're looking for here. 4 of those.
So that hits. Those 2 hit.
That one's not. Okay, so we got strength 6, so it's 2 to wound. Oh no.
Still 2.
2.
And unfortunately, an AP value of a -2, which means I don't get an armor save. So I lose 2.
There we go.
And because of the returned wounds, that goes up to full health again.
Yes.
It's like a really big plague walker.
Yes.
Blight walker.
Poxwalker.
Poxwalker. It's like a really big poxwalker. I've charged a poxwalker again. This doesn't end well.
Shall we move around to this side of the table?
Well, yes, I have some other attacks here. Unfortunately, I don't get to use tube charges again because it's the same phase, but I still get the normal attacks. Yep, so this unit is full strength, and I get +1 for the sergeant having a chainsword. So I get 11 dice, 4+ to hit. That was just slightly below average, that's okay. However, toughness of 7 versus a strength of 3 means I am rolling 6s to wound. I do get 1, and you get an armor save at -1 AP.
No.
Which you fail, so the rhino takes another wound.
Okay, so in this movement phase, I've disembarked the Plague Marines. Now this counts as them moving, and I've got to keep them 3 inches from the vehicle and 1 inches from the enemy units.
Yep, so they've all piled out the back.
So they've all piled out, and what I'm hoping is this guy, and this guy can shoot when we get to the shooting phase.
Yep.
That guy is not going to fail back out of combat because he won't be able to shoot, so he's just there. So we'll take out. Is it McCall? That gentleman?
That's McCall, yeah.
That's McCall. And Moggy Toenail is stuck in combat.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got the bolt gun first. So 2 shots and 3s to hit. Oh, nice, 6. Okay, so we suddenly just dawned on us that this rhino is in close combat, so we can't be doing any shooting here. So instead, I'm going to be shooting over here at these conscripts. So, what do you reckon? That one?
Pretty much.
All of them?
Almost all of them. I think that one behind...
This one?
Yeah, he can't shoot, but because he's kind of tucked behind the rhino, but all the rest of them... So this is the furthest out conscript. So, yeah, I reckon all except for that one that's tucked away.
We've got 6 bolters. 3 of them are within 12 inches, so they get 2 shots. So that's not 8. And we are hitting on 3s.
Yes.
So many die. So we're going to be wounding on 3s. That's 3.
And no AP, so I get my 3 saves, and they are still Tanith recruits, but they do get all of the rules, so it's still a 3+ total save. Which saves all of them.
Nice. So we've got 2 plasmas, this guy over here, this guy here. So this one is within 12, this one is not, so that's 3 shots. So 3+ to hit. Nice.
All of them.
2+ is to wound them. Nice.
So they all wound, and because of the AP value of the plasma gun, I end up with a 6+ armor save, or a 6+ total save, which I make none of. So 3 of the conscripts get splattered.
Oh. Okay, so at this point, I'm now going to declare the charge for the Space Marines versus this unit here. 5 inches.
So they each get to move 5 inches. The one on this side gets -1 for moving through cover. But that still means that most of them are going to be well within range.
Got 3 on this side, 4 on this side, but one's a champion, so we're going to roll him separately. So our weapon skill is 3+. So roll these together.
The standard Marines are all rolling together, so 3+ hit. And this is looking dangerous. So 3+ to wound. So that's 3.
Okay, and it's got -1 AP.
Okay, so I get 6s to save. I save 1, 2 die.
And we're going to do the Power Fist guy. So we've got 3 attacks, but it's -1 to hit, so it's going to be 4s. Oof. Okay.
That's still 2. But the double strength means it's 2+ to wound.
Nice. Okay.
Both of them. There's no armor save there, so that's another 2 dead, which means I lose a 4 out of that squad. So continuing on some close combats down here, I'm once again going to use the Tube Charge's stratagem. So I get a 4+ hit with 1 attack. Oh, come on! And is there 6 in total? So I get 5 left.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 2 heavies. 5, 6.
So 6. So I get so one of them has used the Tube Charges, but the sergeant has chainsword, so I get 6 attacks. Forced hit. And And 6s to wound. 1 wound, you get an armor save at -1.
Yeah.
Made. Okay, your turn.
So we're going to be using the Plague Probe, which is that little needle thing sticking out of its throat. 4 attacks on that. And weapon skill of 3+. All of them. Nice.
Marvelous. Strength.
Strength is 6.
2s to wound. Any AP value?
-2.
So I just get my invulnerable save. I have to make both of these to keep McCall in the game. 5+ invulnerable saves. Yes. Thank you, McCall. So I'm going to explain my movement phase. So I've pulled back away from the Blight Crawler, given that that's back up to full strength. I've done nothing to it. And I've also pulled McCall out from the Flyer, the Blight Drone, which is also at full strength. Did you not take any wounds? I just picked up the wound dice, didn't I? You'd taken 1 wound, wasn't it? So you're at 8. Is that correct?
Yes, there was a 2.
Okay. Whoops, my mistake. This unit over here in close combat with the Rhino and the Space Marines are going to stay there just to slow them down for a little bit longer. But we've just measured up that all of the heavy weapons, the snipers and the heavy weapons team there, are in range of the Blight Drone. So I'm going to do some shooting attacks. However, just before I move on to shooting, the drop troops are going to come down. Yeah, I'm going to place the drop troops on the top of this piece of terrain. So these are the drop troops veterans, and I've paid 2 command points on the force organisation so that I can take these as a separate detachment. But they are a veteran squad with 2 grenade launchers, and they have the armoured drop, I think it is, which means they have a 4+ armour save. And yes, there's the doggo as well. So now let's get on with shooting, and I think I'll start with those drop troops. So I'll get 2 grenade launcher shots. I'm shooting crack grenades. I get, because they're veterans, they are 3+ to hit. Both hits.
Nice.
They are strength 3. Sorry, no. The crack grenade is strength 6 against toughness 7. So I'm at 5s to wound. Unfortunately, nothing there. And all of the last guns are within 12, so I get 7, 14 because they're half range, and then 15 because I get the last pistol from the sergeant. 3+ to hit because of veteran's ballistic skill. And 6s to wound. No, nothing at all. Worth a try. They've popped in. Unfortunately, no damage done. Nice. Now Larkin has 2+ to hit.
No.
Larkin, please.
He's larking about now.
Yes, good old Larkin. All the characters there are either at range or they advanced. So that's my shooting phase done.
Okay.
I am not declaring any charges, so let's move into the close combat. There's close combat over here, so you get to fight first.
Okay. We've piled in. We're going to roll for the 8 standard Space Marines. So we've got 2 attacks each.
It's just a massive pile of dice.
Wow. That wasn't bad.
That's pretty substantial, yes.
3+ to wound. Again, not bad.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Not bad.
And your blight knives give me -1 AP, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I've got to roll all of these, and I need to get 6s to save any of them. How many are left in that squad?
6.
3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to get loads of them as 6s, and I don't think that's going to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and plenty more besides. There, that squad is wiped out.
Okay.
Have I killed any models? Oh, I've killed cultists. Other than cultists, have I killed anything?
No.
No, I haven't. But yes, let's go on with your turn.
The multi-toenail has moved into position, so hopefully it can target these girls.
Yeah, taking out sooner or
and
another.
possibly take him off with a missile.
Yep.
This is just it's progressing on these.
Shuffle forwards.
Moving forwards. The Space Marines are all now moving towards this guy.
That's poor Lud is going to get. Yeah, he's gone.
And the Rhino has come across here. So, oh, well, my Psyker is now disembarked. He's up here. So my plan for the charge phase is to charge here and charge here.
Well, let's go on with the psychic and shooting phases first.
Yeah. So with the psychic phase, Nutricent Vitality. So I cast this on my own unit, and this is going to increase their strength and toughness by 1
Great.
until my next psychic phase. It has a warp charge of 7. So
Okay, roll it up.
risky biscuit, but we'll have a go. Oh, nice.
So that goes off. So they are now +1 strength, +1 toughness.
Indeed.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Curse of the Leper. Okay, so this one is a warp charge of 6. Nice, okay.
Very close to our perils, but that still does go off.
Okay, so this is 7 d6s. And for everyone that exceeds the enemy's toughness characteristic,
Which is 3. So 4 plus.
4 plus, it's going to suffer 1 mortal wound.
And Rawn is dead.
Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, that's 4 wounds.
Okay.
I think Rawn has 3 wounds, but he's dead. Bye bye, Rawn.
So the Plague Marines shot in at the conscripts. The Psyker shot in at the conscripts as well, but he missed. The Rhino shot at these guys, didn't really achieve anything. Blight Drone also shot at these things, didn't achieve anything. So we're going to move on now to the multi-toenail.
Yes, going to finish off Cena and Orilla.
So we're going to start with the Bile Spurt, which is an Assault D3.
Okay.
So, oh, 3, nice.
3.
Where's it still for plus? Okay, 2. 2 plus, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Both of them. And what's the AP?
-1.
-1. I get 6 plus armor save. And if I can just save one of these, the heavy weapon stays around. Yes. However, that does mean, for the first time, I can remove a wound from one of my heavy weapon spaces.
She's going to reload on her own now.
Yep.
Multi-melter. Hopefully the multi-melter will finish them off. Okay, so heavy 2 first, almost. Ooh,
1 hit.
7. Strength is 8. And their strength was...
Toughness is 3, so it's well more than double.
Oh!
Yes. Ah. Somehow she got hit by a multi-melter and didn't die. That makes no narrative sense. It must have hit something along the way. But yeah,
Fine,
she survives.
I'm just going to fire a frag missile at them.
Okay, you've got... There's more... This thing has so many weapons. This thing is armed to the teeth, and I'm not sure it even has teeth. Does it have teeth?
Yeah, it's got teeth.
It does. It has teeth as well.
Yeah, that's the melee weapon. Okay, so a heavy D6.
5 shots.
Nice. 3 plus. 3.
So all of them wounding. Any AP value?
No AP value.
So now I need to get... I've got 3 more wounds coming in on the heavy weapons team there. I need to save all of them on a 5 plus. So that is that dead.
I was kind of hoping that I had that missile left to shoot at this guy back here. Which of course is a little bit disappointing, but there you go.
That does mean that McColl gets to live and do something later on.
It does.
But for the moment, you go into your charge phase. And I assume that there's quite a few charges happening here.
That's ridiculous.
It is a bit.
Oops.
So Commissar Ludd over here is having a little party with, is that 9 Space Marines in total? And he's got to roll a couple of armor saves, not many. He's got an invulnerable of 5+. So I'm sure he'll pass enough of them to not lose all of his wounds. Yeah, he's dead. So we've just gone through the close combat phase. Ludd obviously disappeared. The conscripts pretty much proved ineffective and a couple of them died to the Rhino, as you probably would expect. And this squad here is having a good go. Bragg went to punch this thing in the face. Didn't quite cause enough damage. It did pass its armor save, but we will be using the tube charges stratagem here. So let's have a go with that. With tube charges, one trooper replaces their attack. All of their attacks with a single roll. And if they roll a hit, which they finally do, it does 2d3 mortal wounds. Now this thing has 4 wounds remaining, so if this 2d3 gets 4 or more, then it dies.
Nice.
Yes! Finally, the tube charges do their damage, and this thing is destroyed. Does it have some special rules?
I was going to say, see if it explodes or not.
When the model is destroyed, roll 1d6 before removing it. On a 4+, it explodes. And each unit, excluding noble units within 6 inches,
roll it first.
suffers 1 mortal wound.
Does it explode?
Yes, it does.
Oh no, it explodes.
Each unit within 6 inches suffers 1 mortal wound.
Oh no, that might be some of my characters as well. Not quite the conscripts.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all 3 of those, all 3 of the characters. They're just within
The
6.
important thing is Doggo doesn't buy it.
Doggo is safe. Okay, good.
Doggo doesn't buy it. It's a 1 mortal wound.
Is it just 1 automatic mortal wound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's my tape measure? Cool. So once again, my movement phase is very small, not only because I'm Imperial Guard and in a defensive line, but also because I'm slowly running out of models. The Elysians have shuffled, and as has McColl, to get line of sight on this annoying thing. Gaunt is getting up close and personal to this tank, because he has a power sword in this version of the rules. Otherwise, the heavy weapons team's up here. Well, the heavy weapons team and the sniper team, they're just lining up their shots. They haven't moved. So let's get on with some shooting. From up here, we've got the drop troops popping in from their fan codex. I'm going to shoot 2 crack grenades, which both hits because this is a veteran squad. Strength 6, toughness 7, so it's 5s to wound. They both wound amazingly, and we'll just look up the AP value. Yep, 2 saves from that. Makes 1, fails 1, 1 more wound. They've shot, they're in combat, he's in combat, or he's about to be in combat. He can't shoot anything anyway. They've shot. That's everything. So, yeah, declaring charges. So, just quickly declaring charges. Gaunt declares charge against the Rhino, and I'm pretty sure he makes it. Okay, so we're starting close combat with Gaunt because he charged, and he has the Sword of Hieronymo Sondar, which gives him an extra D3 attacks. So that's 2, so he has 3 attacks base plus 2, becomes 5. He has a weapon skill of 2+, which is everything hits. Unfortunately, nothing affects his strength, which means he is at strength 3 against toughness 7, so we're wounding on 6s. Wow.
Nice.
Two sixes though. And because he's got a power sword, that is -3 armor pierce. And so we're saving on sixes. One saved, one wounds. So the conscript squad here, I'm going to once again use the tube charge special rule. I'm going to pile in and use the tube charges, and then whatever's left will have their attacks. Unfortunately, these are just conscripts. They have a weapon skill of 5+. So the tube charge first. This is the important one, and it misses, unfortunately. So ignore one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 remaining attacks at... Whoop, that wasn't my roll. 5+ hit. That's not a lot. Yeah, that's not too bad. Strength 3, toughness 7, so 6s to wound. 1, 3+ armor save.
Nice.
Nothing. So the rhino gets to attack with your 3 attacks. Was it 3?
One.
One hit.
6.
Does wound.
Nice. Nice.
So a lot of nothing happening there, even with the tube charges, because they missed. That's unfortunate. I didn't kill any of those this whole turn. I've knocked off 1 wound here. I did kill the thing in the middle, which is good. But that thing's still around. So in terms of the total number of chaos models, you haven't lost that much.
The one I did lose, though, is very significant.
The blight drone is a significant model, but there's still a lot of chaos left, and we're rapidly running out of Imperial Guard. But now I think this is the final turn, because this is turn 5.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so whatever happens in this last turn pretty much decides not just this game, but the entire campaign.
So Moldy Toenail has moved to here to protect him from these guys. Rhino's stuck in combat. Me Psyker hasn't moved, and the Space Marines, Plague Marines. So they've moved, and they're going to shoot, and then they're hopefully going to charge what's left of the weapons teams.
That's a pretty easy
shooting.
roll, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Psyker is going to do Curse of the Leper on these gents here.
The conscript squad.
Sadly, I can't see Gaunt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So I can manifest that. So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
yes, mortal wounds.
Yeah, so 6 die from the conscript squad. There's not many of them left.
Putrescent Vitality. So the Psyker is going to cast it on these, and it's going to increase their toughness and strength by 1 until
so
my next lucky phase.
Same as last time.
This has a warp charge of 7. No.
Only 5, so that fails.
Fail.
Okay, so we should get on to the shooting phase then.
Shoot eating phase. Ballistic skill is 3+.
Okay, so declare it.
So we're doing the bolters, and we're shooting over here.
Yep, there's a whole bunch of dice coming in.
So strength 4, toughness 3, so that is 3+.
Yep. I do get the benefit of cover, though. But that's still 1 wound. Get to take off. Look, I can take off a loader to be the wound. It's cool. Plasma guns.
Ooh, 3. Okay, that's
All
3.
of them. What's the AP?
-3.
Which means that the resultant save is 6s. Well, let's roll them properly.
Oh,
That's
one.
2 die. That's
Blight launcher.
the blighty launcher.
A blighty launcher.
It just shoots British people.
British people, yeah. All blighty. So it's assault 2. Take 2 AP, guys. Oh.
Snake eyes on the hit rolls. Lucky for me, maybe not lucky enough.
So we've got these in close combat, Gaunt's in close combat. These are not. Is that correct?
They're not in. Yeah,
So I can
they're
shoot
too
at
far away.
those.
Oh no! Yes, I forgot about this thing. So you're shooting at the infantry squad. So that's 3 attacks for the ball spurt.
Weapon skill 3+. Okay, so that's 1. 2, sorry. 2+.
Yep. 2 wounds. Any AP?
Yeah, -1.
So resultant 4s because of the cover.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Saved them both.
So frag missiles into this group of guys here.
Cool. How many shots?
Oh.
Okay, 6 to hit rolls.
3+. 3+.
Yep.
I'm getting there. Oh wow, that was terrible.
So 3, and I've got 3 pluses. The total save. All of them.
Wow.
This squad is very
Super
resilient.
Super lucky. But I think just to be on the safe side, I'm going to hit them with multi-melter.
Pop them with a multi-melter. Go on, have a couple of shots.
Okay.
1 hit.
1 hit. Oh.
That's it. What's the AP? -3, -4?
-4.
-4. There's no save. So I lose 1 model automatically. Okay, the first person to attacking the close combat this turn is Gaunt. So he gets his bonus D3, which is only 1. So 3 + 1 is 4 attack. 4 attacks at weapon skill 2+. They all hit. Strength of 3 versus toughness 7 is 6s. So I...
Whoa, 3 of them.
Nice. So that is 3 wounds. They are doing... I'm going to check the damage value, but it's AP -3, so it's a 6+ armor save.
The best thing that could happen at this stage is that blows up.
Yeah. So that's failed all the armor saves. Let's check on that damage value. So because of the Sword of Hieronymus Sonda does damage 2, 3 attacks getting through does 6 damage, and that kills it. So let's see if this thing blows up.
Tank was destroyed. I luckily rolled a 6, so it's going to explode.
This die all the way over here rolled a 6, so it does explode, and it does all sorts of damage to all of my units nearby, and this is going to be painful, I think.
D3 within 6 inches.
D3 mortal wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, roll it for Gaunt.
Do I roll it, not you?
Yep.
Okay.
So 2 for Gaunt, he's got 2 wounds left. Roll it for Corbeck.
Which one's Corbeck?
He's right here with 2.
This one.
He's got 3 wounds left. He's dead. Corbeck has taken all of his damage from exploding vehicles.
Yeah, yes he did. Good days.
So this infantry squad,
Oh, 3.
that's down to basically just Bragg and the Flamer. That's there's going to be a morale check there, and of course the conscripts. See if you can finish them off. Well, not quite. 3 models. Remove there. I'll do some leadership tests. They lost 1 model. 6, 7, so they pass. Actually, yeah, they can't fail
They
it.
lost 3.
No, because the heavy weapons team, even though it's 2 people, it counts as 1 model.
Oh, okay.
These lost quite a few. These lost like 5 this turn, I think.
5. Yeah.
So 5, 6, 7, 8. They fail. So 1 model is removed. And then I roll 1d6 for the remaining. So Bragg sticks around by himself. And the conscripts, how many did they lose? I'm going to...
3. It was 3, but there was 5 left.
No, because you killed some in close combat as well, and you killed some with the psychic attack.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to roll it and just see 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they must have failed. So they lose 1 automatically, and the last one sticks around. So, somehow, I get one more turn.
Okay, carry on.
I get 1 more turn. It's not much I can do.
Turn 5.
Yeah. So, the final movement phase for the Imperial Guard, there's very, very little left on the board. The last remaining scraps have moved up to the Blight Crawler. I doubt I'm going to finish it off, but I'll at least have a go. The snipers stayed still because they've got line of sight on the Chaos Lord. The last remaining conscript as well is pointing the wrong direction, but he's moving in on there. The Elysians, because of their really cool special rules, one of the abilities that they can have is they can move and jump off of terrain without the movement penalty for climbing down ladders and stuff. And of course, McCall popped up to here, kind of just over the terrain, which gets him just in range of the Psyker. And so, let's get a whole bunch of shooting done. And I'll start off with the drop troops. 2 grenade launchers against Psyker.
I don't know what Psyker's anything is. Let me look.
I got 1 hit, strength of 6, toughness
5.
wounds. Yep, you saved it, that's fine. So I get 7 last guns.
Oh, nice.
Kind of an average, but 3+ armor save.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he takes a wound. Nice. So the sniper squad, so the 2 standard snipers, 1 hits, wounds, armor save is made. This is Larkin, hits, wounds. Okay, Larkin has a special rule that gives him a bonus mortal wound if he rolls a 6.
Nice. That's 2.
So that's 1 mortal wound
That I can't avoid and 1
that you
I
can't
can
avoid, and then roll an armor save at minus, let me just check, minus 2 AP.
Oh.
Saved. So 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we 5+, so that saved it. So you still take the mortal wound.
Yeah.
There's also 3 last guns in that squad. All 3 hit. 4+ to wound. 2 wounds, 2 armor saves. Yeah, that's it. They're saved. So the last remnants coming here towards the Blight Crawler. Gaunt advanced, so he cannot shoot his pistol. Hark, however, just did a standard move, so he gets 1 shot with a... Oh, should I overcharge this? Because this is definitely worth supercharging. Yeah, okay, I'm going to supercharge this. So Hark is going to use a supercharged plasma pistol. It is a 2+ to hit. If he rolls a 1, he dies. He hits. Strength of 8 supercharged means that it is 3+ to wound. It does wound. Have an armor save at -3. 6+ armor save. Excellent. So that goes through and it does 2 damage. Yep, and Bragg is here as well with his autocannon. So he gets 2 shots hitting on 5s, which he hits both of. Strength of 7, so it's 4s to wound. Okay, well, that's that. So they've shot, he's shot, those have shot. That's it. That is everything. So I'm going to move on to my charge phase. This conscript is going to charge your Psyker, which he makes it in. He's going to get to here. And you know what? He may as well lay down. He's dead anyway. All 3 of these are going to charge your Blight Crawler. So rolling for Gaunt. 4, he makes it in. Rolling for Hark. 7, he makes it in.
Which one's Hark? This one?
Yeah, that's right. And rolling for Bragg. Bragg makes it in. Right then. So I'm going to roll for the conscript, because this is just absolutely hilarious, and this is definitely going to go well. So it is a 5+ to hit. And that's sort of what I expected. So there's no chance of him surviving. Let's at least stand him up. He can die on his feet. He did bravely ran in a suicidal charge. Okay. I will use, once again, tube charges. I will use it with Bragg down here. So he only gets 1 attack. However, his weapon skill is 3+. So 1 attack, 3+ to hit. Yes, it hits. And if it hits, it does 2d3 mortal wounds. So that's 3 and 4. So that's 4 mortal wounds. Hark has 3 attacks, I think. Weapon skill 2+. All of them hit. Strength of 3 versus toughness 7, so we're getting 6s. We do get a wound. You get an armor save of 3+. Armor save is made.
Oh.
And finally, Gaunt with the Sword of Hieronymo Sondar. This is going to be some of the last rolling of the game for me. 3 plus D3 attacks. So he gets 4 attacks. Weapon skill is 2+. Everything hits. So 6s to wound. Oh, nothing. Unfortunately, they don't quite take down. It's got 1 wound left.
It's got 1 wound
It's
left.
got 1 wound left. So close. So
close to another
close.
machine blowing up.
Which means you get to attack with your Space Marines and your Psyker and your thing over there.
So we're going to go Demonic Gluttony. So each kill I make in close combat will return wounds.
So you could potentially get up to 3 there.
It doesn't matter.
It's nothing. Shall we start off with Space Marines?
Jesus.
3s?
Yes. Still 4.
3 4. So 3s to wound. Armor saves. All I have to do is fail 3 of them. Oh! Look at those armor saves. That was a 6 as well.
That's 6 as well.
Let me just get that on camera because I thought that was going to be boring. All the Space Marines punched up at the heavy weapons team, and these are their armor saves. Except that I get -1 to my armor save because you're Blight Knife.
Oh yeah.
And that means that that's still 1, 2, 3 wounds. Even though I got all of those 6s, that does mean that squad is completely wiped out now.
Both of them.
Yeah. Do you want to kill off that conscript?
Explosive Outbreak. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores an additional hit. I could go in for 2 wounds. Okay, so my Corrupt Staff. I have 4 attacks with my Corrupt Staff.
What's the... Yeah. It doesn't matter. 3 to hit.
Yeah, I've basically just got to roll, 2+.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to survive. You still failed 1. Any AP value?
-1.
Oh, he gets an armor save of 6. I was actually supposed to roll 2. Failed them both. He got 2. He takes 2 wounds and dies. That is the game done. We did the combat over here. Bragg took a wound. Everyone's wounded over here. Couldn't quite take out the Blight Crawler. Didn't quite kill anyone in return. The conscript obviously died, and so did the heavy weapons team. But that means the Space Marine squad is pretty much full strength.
Yeah, it's 100% full strength.
So is the sniper squad there on the platform. They're at full strength. Psyker is wounded. He's got 2 wounds left. Where's his dice gone?
It's gone. He had 2 left.
He's got 2 wounds left. McCall is up here with 1 wound left. The Elysians, the drop troops actually, they did a little bit. They put a few wounds in here and there. No one charged them, and so they're at full strength as well. I think what we're going to have to do is total up the victory points. But I think it's in favour of the Chaos, just looking at what I've got left.
First blood, didn't I?
Yeah, you got first blood. You didn't get Slay the Warlord. Who was your Warlord? Your Warlord, that's your Warlord. So no one got Slay the Warlord. Yeah, let's do. We're going to have to do some maths hammer to work out who actually won.
The sacred texts.
But I suspect that it's in favour of Chaos because of what you've got left is worth more points.
Hi. It's another day.
Technically, this is the morning after the battle before. We've pretty much wiped out the Tanith in that game, and we totaled up the points, and we came to pretty much a Chaos victory there. It was sort of obvious once we started looking at the points cost of what was left on the board. The Chaos stuff is much higher value than a few muddy Imperial Guardsmen. That said, it was fairly close, and if I'd have got that one last wound on the Blight Crawler.
Yeah.
If I'd have got that one last wound, that would have tipped it over, and it would have been a Tanith victory.
Yeah, I honestly think we need to look at buffing the Tanith a bit more, because I had that entire unit of Space Marines left at the end.
Yeah, if we'd have gone on to a turn 6, the Space Marines would wipe the sniper squad. Psyker would have taken out the drop troops pretty handily by himself, I think. And then it would have just been the characters who would probably finish off the Blight Crawler, but just a couple of characters left on the Imperial side if we'd have gone for the turn 6.
Obviously, to try and make the campaign a little bit more interesting, I'd switched up the army list a lot on that one, so I'd gone a bit more tanky. But I honestly felt like I was mega overpowered when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. I mean, yeah, the traitor guardsman melted again. Which I think is more because that's basically what you were going with, other than with your special rules of camouflage. That's basically what all your units were.
The Tanith First and Only in the books are pretty much light infantry that counter other infantry. The Blood Pact, the Sons of Sek, various cultists of different flavours. The Tanith fight light infantry and infantry more than anything else. They don't really fight in tank battles. They do have some anti-tank weaponry, the famous Tread Feather, and of course the tube charges that we represented in the stratagem in that game.
Yeah, those work really well.
Yeah, I think the tube charge rule, which is a direct copy of the Melter Bomb rule from, I think it's from the Space Marine Codex. I could be wrong on that. But that rule is perfect for the Tanith, because once you get up close to a tank, it's pretty much the only thing they've got, and without it, they would have nothing. But being able to deal with some vehicles at a little bit longer range, I think we need to look at the missile launcher and actually make a Tread Feather variant.
I think if we, depending on the order these videos are uploaded, if we look back at the games where they were very close, where I was using more infantry, it felt more balanced.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's more enjoyable when there's proper competition. Yes, don't get me wrong, yesterday's game was extremely fun, but I just felt like it was one-sided purely because I was outpowering you, because all your points were made up of light infantry, so the floating toenails were just... Yeah, and that Blight Hauler was hardcore, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was...
Another thing that I've noticed, because I've been having a chat with some of the guys behind the Fan Codex. Well, I'm one of the guys behind the Fan Codex, apparently. I'm having a chat with some of the other people in the Tanith community, and I didn't use stratagems or orders properly, so they've been telling me off for that. But also, because I used that big blob of conscripts in the middle, I could have swapped that conscripts for another veteran squad, which would have been much more valuable, and I could have had plasma gun, melter gun to actually deal with some more of the vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have any models to do that though, did we?
No, I've got, at the moment, I've got some more models on the way, but at the moment I've only actually built one plasma gun. I think I'll end up with 3 plasmas and 2 melters, and so when I get to 1,000 points, when I get to, probably not get to 1500s, but once I at least push 1,000 points, I'll have some more potent weaponry mixed in.
What I'd like to do, I think, is if when you get to 1,000 points, is come back and do a 1,000-point game, but limit myself in terms of like heavy, you know.
I think once I get to that point, I'll have more powerful weaponry, like the melters, like the plasmas.
I think the point of this is that once I go away, you know, back home, next time we get together, you would have gone through some more iterations of the codex.
It depends on how long until we have our next game. Certainly stuff to keep watching if you're interested in the Gaunt's Ghosts. Hopefully you've had at least a taste of what we're thinking. Not necessarily anything that we're actually going to use, although a lot of this might be used. Some of this is good stuff, but just kind of an idea of how we're thinking about putting the Tanith Codex together. So to talk about that specific game in terms of your tactics.
Yeah, so my tactic was to try and drive the Psyker to the building where he actually ended up. All along since the start of the game, that's where I wanted him. I wanted him up there so he could psychic blast the heavies.
Targeting the heavy weapons team.
Unfortunately, I ended up getting the Rhino stuck in close combat, so I couldn't unload him because I didn't want to risk him getting beaten up.
Strangely, breaking cover with that squad on my left flank, your right flank, and getting an infantry squad in close combat with that tank was actually one of the better moves of the game from my point of view.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it tied up that Rhino.
I was essentially just going to get to where it ended up, unload everyone, move the Psyker up to the top, and then push the Death Guard forward.
Yeah.
That was my plan, and then the Rhino at that point was... So I was just going to do what I did, where I was just going to lurch it over the trench.
So most of your plan, particularly on your right flank, most of your plan went to plan, other than I kind of slowed up the Rhino.
Yes, yeah, so you slowed me up for an extra.
It's probably only
two
a turn.
turns,
No, it was
maybe.
only one. Effectively, it was only one turn.
Yeah, but so that was my plan for them. The Traitor Guard, my plan all along was just to use those as because they'd melt. The plan was just to use those to distract fire. Hence me just kind of keeping them in the middle. Mouldy Toenail did what I was planning to do, which was to bring it down that other side.
Getting that into cover was a nice move. I was planning to put loads of gunfire into that thing, and then you were behind a wall, and it's like, well, what do I do now?
And then I didn't really have a plan for the floating drone. I was just going to just possibly bring that up the middle. I don't really know. I was concerned about those drop troops because you didn't bring them in as fast as I thought you were going to do. In fact, I think you should have brought them in sooner.
If I'd have brought those in turn, because I brought them in turn 4?
4.
Yeah, if I'd have brought them in turn 3, because I didn't, given the way that things were positioned in turn 2, I didn't think there was a good place for them. They would have just been too vulnerable and they would have been eaten by something. Turn 3, I was like, I could put them in now, but they're still going to be fairly vulnerable, but they're going to get some shots in. By waiting till turn 4, they didn't take a single shot in the game.
No.
Because I put them in so late. But then because I put them in so late, they only had 2 turns of shooting.
Yeah, to get anywhere.
So I think you're right that bringing them in that one turn sooner, even if it put them a little bit more at risk, it meant that they would be more effective in terms of the firepower they put down. Those grenade launchers aren't as powerful as I would like. They're not as powerful as like a missile launcher, obviously, because they're a much smaller weapon. But certainly having them an extra turn and getting another 2 shots off would have been nice.
I think, in terms of really lucky for me, was the fact that when 2 of my vehicles went down, they exploded. Like, I took out the whole... What was the character's name? I took out just with explosions.
Colonel Corbeck took all of his wounds from exploding vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, the Blight drone had... It was like, was it a D3? It was considerably more likely to explode than the Rhino was. The Rhino was I had to roll a 6. Yeah. So yeah, that was luck. I think more than anything on those. I think.
Yes. Exploding vehicles on my, because that's kind of the matchup of our 2 armies is that. Even though I have some heavy weapons, I'm not necessarily good at taking down vehicles at long range. But with the stratagem, the tube charges, I am good at taking down vehicles close range. But then once I do that, you're exploding and doing even more damage to me.
Yeah. See, now one of the stratagems that I had that we used in a previous game was dropping mortars.
Yeah.
Artillery fire, which I was trying to use in that game to force you to move. Because you kind of dug in. That kind of stratagem I think would be good for the Tanith. The idea that you could calling in
some artillery
from elsewhere.
One of the special characters that we're working on, actually a couple of them, is the Master of Ordnance from the Highness Armaduke, which is just a modified Master of Ordnance from the Imperial Guard Codex. line of sight,
Well,
effectively.
there's line of sight, but basically you have to get that model somewhere, and then you've got line of sight, you can call in an artillery attack. I think that would work really well for the Tanith.
That is effectively how, well, or very similar
Because it
to
would be a
how
guardsman
the...
model with Vox, basically.
Yeah. It's very similar to how the Master of Ordnance works.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. I think I should probably model that up as one of my next choices.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool, because then you could say, well, perhaps once per turn, or I don't know how you...
It's once per game. It's really powerful, though.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, oh, you have your Mouldy Toenail and your Flying Mouldy Toenail. Oh no, they're both dead. It's nearly that powerful.
Yeah. I think that would be a boon to what's effectively a very, very light infantry driven, without sort of breaking the
Themes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the most obvious solution would be to bring in some guardsmen tanks, or but
That is
we're moving away from the sort of Tanith theme then. So it's,
one of the common things that we've always come back to, and it's something we're not going to get rid of this in the Tanith Codex, is you can always bring a separate detachment with a tank.
yeah.
It's going to be 2 command points to do that, but you're going to always be able to bring a Leman Russ or several Leman Russ, depending on what detachment you go for. But you're going to be able to bring Basilisk and Wyvern and all the other stuff in larger games. Tanith will be the infantry side of your army, and then you can bring in tanks from some other regiment. And if you want to keep it thematic, you can call them Purdue, you can call them Ketzok. There's so many armoured units in the Gaunt's Ghost stories that keeping it thematic is not an issue. But what we want to do with the Tanith Codex is at least try to make it so that you can feel just a Tanith infantry
Yeah,
force.
definitely.
That's the difficult thing, but we sort of assume that most players are going to end up bringing a friendly tank along, because Imperial Guard without tanks, as you've seen today, are fragile. So we've pretty much got to the end of what we want to talk about. So for this game, it's a minor chaos victory.
Yes.
And for the campaign as a whole, given how things have gone, it's pretty much a minor chaos victory for the entire campaign. I've won a few. I've put my punches in, but the chaos seems to have come out on top.
It was very enjoyable, and obviously we've got some feedback for the codex, because this is the first time I've used any of my chaos models in Anger.
Yeah, so you're learning the Death Guard just as much as I'm learning the Tanith Codex.
But overall, this obviously concludes the campaign. So thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, some good games.
And hopefully you'll see some more videos once we develop both of these arms a little bit further in the future.
Yes. And thank you very much for watching along if you've managed to get this far into the 5th, 6th battle report. If you're enjoying them, do let us know what we can improve or what you like about them. We're kind of running with a bit of a janky setup, and particularly when certain cameras don't record, we've had to deal with that pretty much every game. So thanks for bearing with us on the technical side of things, and we hope you have enjoyed the battle report so far. So thank you very much for watching. I'm ED-SKaR.
And I'm Paul Allen.
And we'll see you again sometime in a different video.